I just try and get high any way possible, and living on the streets drove me into almost helplessness.
Looked at myself one day and just said, like, wow, this is actually who I am now.
And you know, it just happened so fast that I never thought I would end up sleeping in a sleeping bag in the park.
I had to pick two choices. Out of that was jail or detox, and I chose detox.
I was brought to a hospital and I was on life support for 3 weeks.
That's when I found my addiction was going out of control.
I think of addiction as a kind of loss of control, but more than that, I think it's an expression of needs, particularly interpersonal needs, that being out of control is more like a childlike state.
Before I came here, I was right at the last draw. I was drinking, the big 40 ounces of vodka. I was drinking 5 to 6 to 7, sometimes 8 in a day. I'm no word of a lie, man. I started with the Mickeys, drinking about 5 Mickeys a day, and then I was with the big bottles, and working too. Dangerous.
Addiction is the continued use of a mood-altering substance despite the negative consequences. And when we're talking about negative consequences, we're talking about destruction of, first of all, their physical health, continued use despite legal issues, engaging in promiscuous and harmful behaviors, destruction of relationships, their family, and ultimately themselves.
They become dependent upon institutional support, so it's very expensive to have people serving time in jail, thousands and thousands of dollars a day.
I was actually looking into coming here before I got arrested. My life was absolutely unmanageable. I had to get away. It just happened that I went to jail one more time, before actually making it here. I waited between 4 and 5 months to get in.
Addiction sucks. You got no money to do nothing. You're away from your family. You lose a lot of relationships from it. It's just a pretty bad thing. You got all this anger.
A lot of individuals and a lot of our membership that go through rough times in their lives and they need assistance. And Vida Nova is a place, it's a house, it's an organization, it's an institution. It's all those things and some more. And they bring our membership and those individuals back into the world with a new chance at life.
We need a program that's realistic, that is non-judgmental and never punitive, but will help people to return to society as contributing human beings. Vida Nova exists for our community, and it is for all of the people. It belongs to the people.
I was very uneasy and nervous because there were a lot of clients standing outside in between their programs, but once I actually walked through the door and got to speak with the receptionist and met Lourdes, it felt like I was at home even though I hadn't lived here yet.
It's a big step for them when they make that call and they first come in for the first assessment. It's a big step for the client.
So during the ride I passed an LCBO and I was like, hey, that's nice and everything, but then when I finally ended up passing the streets, getting closer to my home, the feeling subsided, and I've been challenging them since then. And I realized some of the triggers came up being in a cab driving through old areas, and also just just being free on my own.
They come in very sad, not having any confidence, and then they leave with their heads held high and they look good and they feel good, and it actually comes out in what they say. They're not angry anymore. You know, they're more soft-spoken, they're more at peace. There's a calmness to them, and you can see that.
Oh, it's good. Where is this new Dave coming from? This wasn't the Dave that was here last time.
People in recovery are going to be less likely to engage in harmful activity in the community. My interest is avoiding these issues from arising, and one of the ways to do that is make sure there's a system of care that can help people recover from their addictions, recover from that self-destructive behavior, become productive, responsible members in the community. It'll reduce the crime, reduce the pressures on the community, and reduce the costs.
This is going to be your time. I believe we had a crowd of over 1,000 last year.
That was awesome, guys. That was fantastic.
So you got a conductor, right?
If I look at my picture, I see a successful person who's been able to structure their lives, been able to succeed, and is on the right track. And even if problems come up, I'm able to overcome them.
My name is John Monda. I've been clean approximately 22 years now. Well, I think they helped me dig down deep inside to figure out, first of all, what the problem was, why I needed drugs, why I was masking, what was it that was hurting me inside that I needed, a fix every morning or every couple of hours to mask this pain, and what was the pain and what was causing it. So, I did a lot of one-on-ones with certain counselors and Franca and in group and figured out what the issues were, and hey, life doesn't get better than this after that, right? This is it.
The person that is willing to accept those challenges, is willing to say, yes, I do have a challenge and I need to address it, has a place to go to, and that's Vita Nova.
We're having our open house today to show appreciation to all of our benefactors.
Everything happens with that. Right? But this is our therapy. Everything happens. Now, we have a champion. They gave it to us. All they wanted was a tax receipt. Yeah, my name is Cosmo Scafoni. I'm a counselor as well as the property manager of the facility. I've been here 23 years. Every morning we have individuals that come out here and maintain the garden, right? And then they will pick whatever crops are ready to be picked, and they will cultivate it and just maintain it so, remove all the weeds so we get the best harvest we can, the day to day, right? Yeah, so this is something that we would do every single year since '95, since we've been here, and it gets better and better every year. They get great joy out of this, right? And but for those who are new, it has even more impact on them. Just to pick something off, a tomato, to pick up tomato and just eat it right off, some people have never done that, and they take great joy in doing that. And in their future, they can see themselves building their own garden.
The lawnmower machines that we find them in the garbage, and we bring them here. Most of them, they're all broken, handles, frames, wheels, and so what we do basically is that we have some old machines too. We take the parts from there and we remodel them all like brand new. We change every single thing, give it a nice little spray paint, and they're like brand new. And they work 100%. It's like a recovery. You come back to life in recovery as hard as you work on it. These machines are the same thing. We bring them back to life, these machines. We just bring them back to life again, these machines. And it's a joy working with them too. We love it.
Vita Nova started 28 years ago while my husband and I and Dr. Carbone were publishing a health magazine. One day I received 400 letters, and they were all saying the same thing. My children are out of control. There's mood altering. What is wrong? And my answer was, they probably are doing drugs. That's what gave me the idea that a treatment center for young people was needed in our community. So what I did is researched for 1 year. I saw what was happening in the United States. I moved on to Canada, and from Canada to Germany, to England, to Italy, and Croatia. I took the best component of each one of those clinics and brought it back to Canada by creating a program that would serve the individual individually and work with that individual's family, for if an addict needs to make a change, then the family needs to change as well. We worked hard. We learned as we were going on. I started having staff. I chose to have staff with university degrees or college, made sure that they were educated also in addiction treatment, and looked at various places